talk about the fundamentals of why we're here. So the goal, of course, is to get your certificate so you can race in the series. The one thing I would tell you not to do is don't try and dazzle us with your speed. If you have that speed, you will dazzle us. It won't be necessary to work at it. If you don't have the speed and you try and dazzle us, that leads to a whole selection of problems. And what you want to do is get out of here having ridden all day, which means you didn't fall down, and having successfully completed the course, which means you paid attention and seemed to be safe. We're not actually worried about how fast you are. Inevitably, that's up to you, and that's an ongoing process. And I've been riding motorcycles on the racetrack since the 70s, and I'm thinking about it and working on it all the time. So you're not going to be really good or really bad based on today. Although if you are unbelievably silly, you could fail the course, and that doesn't allow you to ride. But it's literally being silly that would get you into trouble that you'd fail. So if you can ride a consistent line, you know what you're doing, you're safe around the other guys, that's all it's going to take. And ironically, by far the youngest student here is the one with the most racing experience, or it seems that to be the case. So that will be educationally. He's probably by far the fittest person here, and he's certainly one of the lightest, so that's working in his favor. I know, not an appealing quality. So simple safety here today in a general sense. We have an ambulance, we have people watching the track. If anything happens, we'll just stop. We're not very busy. It's not a race weekend when there's thousands of spectators and all those things. There's not a lot of pressure. So if there's any reason, if you have something that makes you stop, just pull off the track and wait. Even if it's minor, but you don't feel like it's a smart idea to come back in, you think you got an oil leak or a flat tire or something like that, just stop. We'll figure it out. We'll come and get you. So there's no pressure, right? So the flags will be extremely straightforward, won't be complicated. However, in your career as a racer, this will be the most complicated explanation of the flags you'll ever receive. From then on, they will do one of two things. They will show you the flags in about a minute, or they will say, does anyone want us to go over the flags, and ask you to stay till the end of the meeting. But there will be no discussion about how we communicate unless there was some gigantic screw up the day before and somebody famous is angry. That's usually Steve Krevy, just in case you're wondering. Or just, it doesn't have to be a screw up, he just has to imagine that we screwed up. So at the riders meeting, we really try and keep things short and simple because riders in a group have no attention span. They will wander into traffic or pick their nose and start eating it, whatever. It's bad stuff, so you don't want them in a group any longer than absolutely necessary. So what you need to do is digest the flags today, understand their meaning, and hopefully take that with you the rest of the time you ride on the racetrack, because typically you won't get a lot of time on this, and you need to actually understand why we do it this way. And of course, the number one reason we do it this way is we don't have radio communications or anything like that with you. So you really need to know what the flags mean and why we're giving them. So I'll quickly go through the flags.